All right, guys, we are doing our first live show regarding ICP and what is happening. And I think it's important to start talking about ICP. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to come on in. Um, Man, I made a call on Twitter and on X, and I'm going to show you guys. I can't believe how right I was about this. I'm going to tell you guys how I came to this conclusion so we can all understand, because I said this is going to be the Zcash moment for ICP. So guys, come on in so you can ask some questions, because there's a lot going on in ICP that's so great, and I'm getting more and more excited about it. Some of the stuff is going to come down to some timelines that we're going to look at, but let's look at the price of ICP right now. It went down to $5, a little bit below $5, which was acceptable because it was at, you could see 660. It went all the way 660. Okay. So it came down to about 5, which, by the way, is very acceptable. Okay. A little bit below 5. So it was going to step back a little bit when it kind of blew off the top up here. I see some guys in here that I know. So what's up, guys? What's up? If you got questions, let's start asking them. So basically what you're seeing right here is the consolidation taking place. This is a sign you need to see. This is a Zcash moment. Okay. And I'm going to show you my X post that I made about this before this even happened. Most of these influencers out here, they don't own much ICP, or they talk about it. I'm not talking about a specific one, but some of them out here, they're just trying to get you to go to their websites and get traffic. I'm a real investor. I do real analysis. I started going to Caffeine AI, testing everything out. And then that's what I noticed. And that at that moment, I went from bearish on ICP to bullish. So look at what I did here, guys. I'm going to share this tab right here. This is on October 31st. Oops, did I click the wrong one? Okay, sorry. There we go, right here. When Caffeine AI launches fully, this is on October 31st, right here. This is what I said, 8,100 views. When Caffeine AI launches fully, the setting for the Zcash pump and more is ready for ICP. Let them short. ICP is inevitable. Literally 3-4 days later after this, we're getting the ICP pump. Everyone was so concerned. You guys remember this? Everyone was so concerned that there's all these people shorting ICP. I wasn't concerned. I was like, this is going to be basically fuel to the fire. So when you saw that blow off top right here, when we saw this blow off at the top right here, that's those people. That's what happened. And they had to cover. So this is what you were seeing at that particular moment in time. And the volume went crazy. You went about 1.4 billion, 1.3 billion volume. And now we're down to about 600, 700 million, which is what you want to see. You're kind of normalizing. If you look at Zcash, it went through the same phase. It went through the same periods. In fact, Zcash is hitting those $400 marks on under $1 billion on some days. Volume. You don't need a ton of volume. What you need is buy pressure. This is what people don't understand. You need buy pressure. So I hope I can help explain some of these things to you guys. So you guys understand what's happening here is actually, this is a great setup. All right. New to crypto. What is this guy saying? New to crypto. Can you explain what it means about Zcash moment? Oh, your Zcash moment. Well, Zcash is everywhere. You should definitely follow on Twitter, but I'll bring up the Zcash chart. How is about that? We can bring it up right there. It's probably one of the best ones. So the Zcash moment is this, buddy. Zcash did something extraordinary. Zcash basically, a lot of people thought was dead. It was dead in the water. A lot of people weren't expecting Zcash to come back at all. They had basic count. Look at the chart. I mean, this is crazy. It's at 480. It was like 40. Look at this. Look at this. Reminds you of another chart, right? ICP chart. $40, guys. It's done at 12x, and it's strong up here. It's not giving up. And if you look at the volume is very similar. 1.4 billion right now. 1 billion. Okay. You just need consistent volume. That's what I'm seeing on ICP. You just need that consistent volume. You got to just keep it going and you will stay that high. And yes, you can have drops. If you look right here, the volume dropped to 284, but it consolidates. No one's selling. Everyone's in it because they understand the story is so big. They understand they need to be diamond hands. You guys understand how these things work. These people that bought in didn't. A lot of people are like, oh, these people at 40 and 50 and 60 are going to sell. They weren't even selling. Yeah, there was some sell off here. It went to about 300 and it came back down. But the Zcash moment, the setup for ICP is what I'm looking at right now. That's what I'm looking at, because I really think we can have that Zcash moment. 620 is resistance is a bitch. We actually went over 620. We did go over. We went over 620. We're at 660 and it came back. And the resistance doesn't really matter when you have something like Caffeine AI. Caffeine AI is so revolutionary. It's getting so much hype. Rand from Crypto Banter was talking about it. It's getting everywhere. It is just starting. You guys have to understand, this is the start. Everyone is just starting to understand. So what Crypto Banter was saying is that before, ICP was very theoretical, it was like a research center. Now it has an actual product. So what you're going to see is people are going to start building on Caffeine AI, and guess what's going to happen? People are going to start building on it, and everyone's going to know it's Caffeine AI, it's ICP, and more people are going to come over to ICP, and more people are going to understand that there's an actual product here. So hopefully that helps explain it to you guys. And I agree with this guy right here. Anything under $10 a deal. Realistically, yes. I made my last video about Replit and Lovable and the valuations. Literally anything under $20 for ICP at this point is a deal. We are super, super, super early to it. We're super early. Oh, what is going on here? This is an interesting question. All right. And I'm going to talk about Caffeine Doctor right now. I haven't checked it yet. We're gonna bring up Caffeine Doctor in a minute because it's on Pump Fund, guys, and it's basically uses Caffeine AI. It's the first meme token on Pump Fund, bringing ICP and guess what? Sold together on Pump Fund. We're gonna make DApps and games, which we already have made some, on Caffeine AI, and all the profits, 50% of the profits from it, are gonna buy back and burn Caffeine Doctor. I haven't checked to see where the price is right now, so we're all getting a shock. Hopefully it makes bonding. We're going to try to make bonding during this live stream. Binance offering a higher rate than an NNS to stake at the moment. What is the percentage on Binance, guys? See, that could be big too, because the NNS you can do from 6 months to 8 years. So can you guys tell me what the NNS, what the Binance is offering? Because Binance is like restricted to a lot of people in the United States. So if somebody could go onto it, if you could find out, I'd like to know the rates, because that could be actually a pretty big driver. If Binance is offering 10, 15, 20% on your ICP tokens, and there's a reason Binance does it. A lot of you guys are like, why would Binance do it? Well, Binance does it for a lot of reasons. And this is why we can have our big moment in ICP, right? Let's bring back the ICP chart. One of the reasons we can have our big moment in ICP is if we're getting support from Binance. And I call it support for a reason. They want you to bring your ICP over to them because they don't have enough of it to loan out for people who are longing or people who are shorting. So they don't want to be caught without it. Do you understand? So they earn fees from it. They charge fees for it. So they're basically kind of loaning it out. So they're making money off it. So they might be offering, for example, 20%, maybe even more. They are making more money. All right. So hopefully that explains it. EXE on ICP is going to 100 million soon. Is the best meme coin ever. The dev is a genius. The dev is very good on EXE, and there is a meme coin community on ICP. Do not stake anywhere except for the NNS. I mean, you can stake other places. What's the reason? Smallpox. Let's see what you give for a reason. However, let's go to let's see what Caffeine. All right. Let's see what Caffeine AI is doing here. All right. Oh, sorry, Caffeine Doctor. This is bizarre. Give me 1 second. So look at this. We're at 31. All right. So we're at about 31,000. All right. We are. Okay. I think I had some technical difficulties there, but I think we're back. Okay, so we are at 31,000 right here on Caffeine Doctor, guys. We've got about 102 people watching, so there's a lot of real excitement about this. Now, Caffeine Doctor is the first meme coin. Somebody should put the link in here. Let me see if I can get the link for you guys. This is the link. Let's see if we can do bonding here and get this out of bonding, because Caffeine Doctor is basically the first meme coin on ICP. Well, sorry, built with ICP, which is Caffeine AI. Here is the link. There is the Caffeine Doctor link. All right, guys, that's the link. That's the official link. And you can go to my X or Caffeine Doctor also. It is the first meme coin that is building everything with, guess what, Caffeine AI, and all the revenues from the D-apps and the games, making casino games, is going to be used to buy 50% buyback and burn. Now, we can't go live with all of the games on Caffeine Doctor because we're still waiting for Caffeine AI to put in the wallet connect and all that stuff. But what we can do is develop it, bring some hype and marketing behind all of it. And when we launch, we can have a really, really big launch. And then we can make some money off of these apps. So hopefully that helps you guys understand what's going on. All right, 114 people. Wow. I guess there is everyone wants to ask questions. Let's see what else is going on. All right. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have Binance anymore. Saw somebody post, looks like 16.9% for 1 year. Definitely have to double check that. I mean, 16% is really high. 16.9% is really high if that's the number. And I think if that is the number, that is going to cause ICP to probably move up. Okay, let's see. What are the questions? Bob, Fuma, Panda. Yes, these are all good. These are all good stuff. I'm bullish on Caffeine Doctor. I think a lot of people are. We're just trying to get through bonding, guys. I put the link right down here for you guys in the chat. Let's get Caffeine Doctor. This is our moment. We can go in it. Look, everyone's up on it. Everyone's up on Caffeine Doctor. We're 85% bonded. So we just got a little bit more to go. ICP has a massive community. It does. A lot of the community had kind of turned on it, but a lot of the community, actually from one of my videos, I think kind of helped a lot of people, were hitting me up and saying like, hey, this Caffeine AI is next level. Nobody has anything like Caffeine AI. Do not let anyone out there go and tell you that XRP, not XRP, sorry, Cardano, or this is better, that is better, this is faster, They don't have Caffeine AI. Caffeine AI is not even comparable to anything in crypto. There is nothing like it. I looked. I did a comparison with Replit and I did a comparison with Lovable AI. Those guys are making like $150 million a year in revenues, okay? $150 million a year reoccurring revenues. When you have reoccurring revenues, it's massive. It's absolutely massive when you have reoccurring revenues, okay? So the fact of the matter is Caffeine AI, when it gets fully released and they start taking credit cards, could become the next big thing. And I wouldn't be surprised it runs to 150 or $200 million in revenues right away. And it's lights out at that point for ICP. There is nothing that is going to stop it. And Caffeine Doctor is going to be leveraging everything on Caffeine AI. And that's the difference. ICP community is like the XRP army, silent cyberpunks. You know what's interesting is I don't know how many people will even sell their ICP if it gets to $20 or $30. The people that have been holding are such strong holders right now. We are the hodlers. The people that sold, they're gone. All those people, it's the same thing as Zcash. I keep bringing up Zcash for a reason, okay? Let's go look at the Zcash. Let's just look at the chart again for internet computer, at least. People aren't selling. You know why? Because all the sellers got out down here. They're gone. They're gone at 280. We went down to 280. Look at this. 282. And when that flash crash happened at 1010, remember that flash crash? I think it went down to like $1.60. Okay. People sold out. Those people are gone. They're gone. Okay. A lot of people are worried about like the VCs. A lot of the VCs are staked in the NNS for 8 years or 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. And a lot of them already sold a long time ago, or they're sold when it went down and they lost all hope. The VCs have all made their money. The people who got in 3 cents to $3, they're gone mostly. Okay. Half of the NNS is staked. 50% of all ICP tokens is staked. I think something can happen in ICP that is even bigger than Zcash because we have so much more stake than Zcash. We are still in the early phases. Zcash slowly built. You saw that. It slowly built and then it went because nobody sold. All the people that were in it at $40 and $50 were hardcore Zcash people. They were never going to sell, and they're not selling now. And that's why the price keeps going higher. Let's see. Caffeine Doctor chart looks clean. Never seen it at Pump Fund. Oh, there's a reason you've never seen it on Pump Fund. Okay, there's a reason you've never seen a chart like Caffeine Doctor on Pump Fund. It's because this is a first organic chart. Everybody on Pump Fund is using bots, or they're using like, a bunch of friends get together and they buy and sell and they on bots rug each other. That's why you're seeing it. Okay. Smallpox, I turned bearish at the right time and I turned bullish at the right time. I was bearish because I wasn't seeing what I needed to see. Okay. I'm an investor first. I'm going to tell you the truth. So I just wasn't seeing it from the team. But when I started using Caffeine AI myself and giving it a chance and building on it and seeing the power it had, then I was like, all right, this is all going to flip, and it's going to flip real soon. But guess what? I waited until Caffeine AI was launched and I could test it for myself. So that's due diligence. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay. Let's see what we got to say. So far, the price, the MACD, the RSI is showing lower high and weak on the weekly bearish divergence. What do you think about that? It doesn't really matter. None of this stuff matters. It's going to need a minute to consolidate, but look at Zcash. It went from 40 to 480. These RSI, MACD don't even mean anything when you start moving. It's a freight train. This will also become a freight train because Caffeine AI is a revolution. Please understand what I'm saying. Caffeine AI is a revolution. How much do you pay for revolutionary tech? How much do you pay when it goes live, when they have their first couple million people? And Dom says we got our first million paying customers paying us $29 a month. We're making $360 million a year. Where do you think the token's going to go when half of it is staked? All these new canisters, all of these people filling up their credits every day. None of this makes a difference. RSI, MACD, all that stuff doesn't matter for Zcash, and it won't matter here. If you look at Dash, Dash is going through the same thing. Dash is exploding. Okay. Decred is exploding. Decred's another alt token that's exploding. You guys have to understand what you're seeing here is a mini alt run. People are saying Altseason is dead. It's not dead. It's only for select tokens. ICP has been selected. Right now, if we want to look at the chart, we got Dash. Let's see. We got Dash running. Actually, we could look them all up together. We got Dash running. We got, I think we can do 7-day. We can see what's been the most powerful for the 7-day. You got Decred. ZK Sync just took off. I don't know why ZK Sync just took off. It just literally today, it just took off. I'm absolutely shocked it's taken off. It's just a layer 2 for ETH, but okay. And then Dash up 129%. And then look at this. Internet Computer 88%. And then Zcash, which has already had its huge move. If I had done a 30-day one, we probably see there's only 7 days. So you can see the numbers are pretty big. And then you see behind that, it's pretty damn bearish. So there is a mini alt season going on. Okay. Decred, a lot of people thought was dead. Personally, I thought it was dead too. Okay. Dash, Zcash kind of have the same narrative going on. I don't know what the Decred narrative is. I definitely don't know what ZK Sync is doing. But Internet Computer is got to, obviously, I think Internet Computer has the best narrative. So we're in the best narrative, the best technology, revolutionary technology. What do you think is going to happen? It's a matter of time. Okay. How does bonding work? Well, I'm going to show you right now. How's that? How is that? So bonding works by, if we hit this right here, you see bonding curve progress, 85%. If we hit 100%, what ends up happening is this starts trading on the exchange. I believe Pump Fund has its own exchange. It used to trade on Radium. Now it goes to the Pump Fund exchange. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called pump something, or maybe it goes to Radium. I don't remember. They'll give you a message. The difference is it says we got to get to $66,000 to grade. It's trading at a higher valuation. So I'm getting in now at 30,000, for example, when bonds, I believe it starts trading at 100,000. So they 3x. And yes, people do sell because they make a lot of money. So you'll see all this volatility going on when it first, and sometimes you actually start seeing it go up. It depends on the project because it gets discovered by a lot of new people. So it goes up, it goes down, it goes up and down, and it does all sorts of crazy shit. That's just what it, but the chart is like this, because this is all organic. There was nobody playing around with the charts. You can see somebody just bought in right now. So you're moving up slowly. If we get to bonding, basically, whether they sell or not, of course, that's completely up to them. But after, what we can do is we can, as the dev, I have about 9% of the tokens. I can start giving out some of these tokens to different projects that we can help market them and onboard them and help them and take some of their revenues. And then if they do well, we can burn more caffeine doctor. It's an experiment. It's going to be fun. And I think it's going to help Caffeine AI. I think it's going to help ICP. Let's see. Caffeine still in beta. It is. All right. What is going on? And it got 10 times better. All right. Let's see what's going on. All right. Not selling till I'm 80 years old. Dividends for life. All right. Yeah. And that's the thing. There's a lot of hardcore people in ICP. There's a lot of hardcore people that will not sell no matter where the price goes. They just won't. So, this is the type of community you want to be a part of. You want to be part of this type of community. So let's see. Who's going to get us past bonding, guys? We got to do this. I got the link here. Maybe overnight it happens. Let's see. It's slowly building. We'll do a couple more tweets. Any other questions? I hope I answered some of the questions you guys have. We'll look at some other stuff on Twitter. There's actually some really good YouTube. Some really good guys on Twitter. I really like Alex. I'm gonna go through Alex. Blockchain Pill. I really like his posts that he's doing right now. He's doing some really, really high quality stuff. So I think you guys need to start following like Blockchain Pill, like myself. And I think, I think you'll have a better idea and a better like understanding and a better kind of feel for how things are going to work out there. And you can kind of see by this tab here, ICP is right in the mix, guys. We are so in the mix in all of this stuff. And by the way, the volume is beautiful. Everything I'm seeing on ICP right now is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Let's go to Alex. Let's see what he's got going on. What is he? Blog. Let's see if I can find Alex's post here. Yeah, and there's some crazy AI lady right here. This is some AI thing saying ICP is going to 200. Absolutely nuts. So there's just a lot of hype coming on. So, understand where the hype is all coming from. Don't get, there's just a lot of like, and this is good. What you're about to see. Oh, there's Alex, Blockchain Pill. He's putting out really, really great content. You guys are definitely want to follow him. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Yeah. So basically, I like a lot of stuff that Alex is doing, because what he's doing also, he's like comparing it to, for example, to Cardano. He's comparing what's going on to, other stuff, like you kind of get a better idea. I'm comparing it to Zcash because I kind of seeing similarities in the hype that was taking place between Zcash and what was taking place in ICP. So I kind of was seeing the same thing, Zcash went from what price to what price? It went from $40 to $480. Almost 500. Yeah, it's like 480, 485, I think is the top. And by the way, it's the top right now. The top right now during what I would say collapse of BTC and ETH. Think about that. This is alt season is going to be very different than the other alt seasons. This particular alt season, guys, isn't going to be like the other ones. There's going to be selective tokens that will do well, and these will be tokens that people want to use and people that are interested in these tokens. It's not going to be everything. Okay. So if ICP has been selected, this is good news because not everything will pump. And ICP is one of the ones that's been selected now by the internet, by the world, by the meta, by everything out there. Okay. This is that this is a huge start to what is happening. Okay. This is very important that you understand that ICP has been selected to be one of the 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 basket of altcoins that's going to move. Okay. If you're buying another altcoin, it's probably not going to move, or you're going to have to wait for it to move. ICP is only $5 and the potential is endless. Potential is probably in the hundreds of dollars long term, right? If Caffeine AI really gains adoption, it's not going to stop at $50 and $60. It's going to continue to go. Okay. It won't matter. So please understand that. I've been holding ICP from 40 to 280. I believe ICP will take over AWS and Google. First of all, I don't know why you were buying it at 40. I knew about ICP from day one. When I saw the unlocks, I ran from it. In fact, I should have shorted it. I saw the technology. I saw the potential. A lot of devs really liked it that I was talking to, and they were buying in the $40 and $50 range. And I would always say the same thing. I would always say, but the technology is good, guys, I would say. And then I would say, but the unlocks, it's crazy. So always look at the unlocks. And this is a good lesson for people to understand. Just because the technology is good on something, look at the unlocks. Look how much is going to be dumped on you every single month. That is going to be the biggest story. That is going to be the story here. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that this is a learning lesson. When you see someone who bought it at 40 and is holding to 280, you first of all should have been averaging down when you saw this 280 price. Number one. Number two, you shouldn't have been buying at 40 if you were looking at the unlocks. The unlocks are a problem. A lot of people ignore the unlocks. The unlocks are really something that you got to look at. And like you see the 1-year chart where I did right there. Okay, doesn't look so good, right? And the 1-month chart. This is pretty much in line with Zcash. Okay, Zcash is a very similar chart. All right. We are looking really, 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 really good here. All right. Let's see what other questions we got going on here. ICP will go to 3 digits. I think over a long-term period of time with adoption of Caffeine AI, I think you're right. I think ICP goes to 3 digits. I think it does. I wouldn't be surprised. I think sometime if they execute correctly, 2027, I think it's possible. It could even be possible in 2026 because of all the stuff that's coming, all the stimulus that's coming, the M2 money supply, the TJ rebuild from the Fed is almost done. So the government shutdown is hopefully going to be resolved. All these little things, 170 people here right now, which is nuts. So all these things that are taking place, guys, this is leading up to a very strong 2026. Very strong. This is a $50 to $100 range in 2026, in my opinion. And it could happen overnight. You saw Zcash literally did it in a month. Do not be surprised that everyone gets on this bandwagon, especially before the full launch. Right now, Caffeine AI is in beta. If it does a full launch in the next 30 days, maybe before the end of the year, do not surprise. This has its Zcash moment. Okay. I saw during Genesis, but took almost a year of research post launch. But okay, all right. Pump swap, it goes to pump swap. That's right. I haven't used pump swap, so we'll see what happens. Caffeine is the first Web3 product that transcends the Web3 narrative over to Web2. This is true, and the retail doesn't even know it's ICP. They buy and burn tons of P's. That's very true. That's very true. People are going to be making websites. People are going to be making all sorts of apps and D-apps and all sorts of stuff. And, you know, it's going to burn a lot. Okay, let's see. Price predictions. What do you think? 250? 250 in what time frame? If you're telling me 250 in like 3 years, 2 to 3 years, with adoption of Caffeine AI doing like $1 billion a year in reoccurring revenues, please understand, is the most important thing you could have. When a company or project has reoccurring revenues, it is way more powerful than selling a calculator one at a time. When you have reoccurring revenues, you know exactly what your revenues are. You can invest in R&D. You can hire more people. You know exactly where it is, and it's very powerful. So yes, it is possible, but I don't think it's going to happen in 2026. But if you told me 2027 or 2028, I could go with it. I could go with it. In fact, I could probably say even more, because the adoption of Caffeine AI, everyone's going to be using it in Web3, and so many people in Web2 are going to be using it. I could even see more than that. The decentralized library idea, and they're also using, okay, let's see. Yeah, the deck screener would bring lots of attraction, or yeah, we got to bond first in order for Caffeine Doctor to be able to change the deck screener. So we can do some stuff to the deck screener, but it needs to bond first. All right, let's see what other max price. We should expect this to rip. What time period? If we're just looking right now, I'd say we're probably looking at a $50 mark. 50, kind of where Zcash is, right? Zcash is the 12x. So what's a 12x from, let's say, the $3 mark? $36. I think that's too low, just because the difference between Zcash and ICP is a lot. ICP actually has real technology. Would I be surprised it kind of gets to 36.40? No. But would I want it to go to about 50? I think 50 is more of a fair value point. I think it's more realistic, because a lot more tokens in Zcash, in ICP, are also staked than Zcash. So please understand that. You're dealing with two different ecosystems. Also, you're dealing with a lot of people like this gentleman who bought it $40. He's not going to sell it $40 or $50. There's a lot of people like that. They're just not going to sell it. Okay. So it's you're talking about a community of people that really believe in the technology and what it is. No one can tell how much, but if there is a chain that can go back to previous highs, all-time highs, ICP can. I've seen dead coins go up to their previous highs in bull runs before. This is true. I wouldn't be surprised. End of year prediction. Again, it's hard to predict, but I would probably put end of year. I think our Zcash moment is coming up. This is end of year prediction. Two ways it's going to go. Caffeine AI does its full launch, will be between $40 to $50. Full launch, no more in beta. Okay. And you can put your credit card in and you can do your things. We're $40 to $50. There's no way it can't be there. It just isn't. It's going to be millions of dollars coming in. And those dollars, basically what Dom said is he's going to convert all the credit card. Like if he gets $29 from the fees, he's going to convert that $29 to ICP and burn it. Okay. So I don't know if it's like the full 100% of the $29 a month, and it's every month. So once you put your credit card in, it's $29 every month. So basically the base of people grows. So basically ICP will always have X amount of burns coming every single month. That's a big fucking deal. Okay. It's a big deal. So when you start to understand it, you're talking Caffeine AI beta launch, and it's no longer beta. We're $40 to $50, maybe higher. If it doesn't, then I expect it to be a little bit muted. I'd say between $20 and $30 mark. We are going to go. I'm seeing the volume. The volume is sticking. This is very much like Zcash. There really isn't a big difference. Okay. The difference is ICP is better technology and actually has something that Zcash doesn't, and no one else, in fact, does. So I think this is the biggest difference. Also, fuck all you ICP haters. You're all stupid ass fucks. Oh my God. Well, you know what? We will save this for when it gets over $30. How's that? All right. And it is going to go there. It is just a matter of time. Getting an ICP here feels like being early to ETH. It is. It's very much the same. And it is one of the very few projects that can go to those levels and can go to like 100 billion, 200 billion, $300 billion market caps. I hear a lot of people talk about some of these other projects. I don't want to badmouth any projects, but let's just say Cardano. And it's like, there's nothing there. It's a ghost chain. The tech ain't that great. It's slower than everyone else. And it's like, what are we talking about? Charles is just a good marketer. That's it. Here, we got the opposite. We got the greatest tech, maybe not the greatest marketing, but the marketing looks like it's picking up because people are starting to realize. So it's kind of the opposite. You know, we have the opposite effect. And to be honest with you, if Caffeine AI starts getting customers, there isn't a number on this. There just isn't. $50 billion at bare minimum in year or two, if not closer, if momentum takes over. Just wait till they start making revenues. That's really it. That's all I've been saying. Revenues need to start coming from Caffeine AI. Revenues start pouring in 5, 10, 20 million a month. It's game over. It is game over. Is it worth staking most of my ICP? I don't stake. I only stake about 10 or 20% of my ICP, and I do it for about a year. But some people do it for like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years. I mean, you got to dissolve them. So that means a long time. So that's really personal question for you. I mean, I don't stake much. I keep most of it on the side, and it's not because I'm trying to dump it. I've been holding it for years. I probably should have staked realistically. And actually I would have had so much more ICP. So it's probably stupid on my part, but you know, it is what it is. I probably should have staked, but again, if this price is so volatile and it's going to go to like $50, $60, which we all expected to, then, you know, you might not want to stake, but some people are like, well, I'm just going to earn revenues from it. I'm going to look at it as a revenue source. That you can do too. So you can do that too. Vitalik said before that he respects Dom and considers ICP a sister network. It really is a sister network. This is a great question. Do you think we're nearing the end of the bull cycle? No. And I'm going to actually bring up what I actually said on Twitter. I actually wrote about this. Okay, guys. I actually did a whole thing about this. All right. Let's go here. I actually did a whole tweet about ETH and BTC right here. Oops, nope, not that one. Tweeted a lot lately. Usually don't tweet this much, but it is what it is. All right. So I want you guys to pay very close attention to this particular tweet because a lot of people are talking about like all the cycles. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. I think it's very important that a lot of people a lot of people don't understand this and they don't understand really what's going on out there. Okay. The truth this week about BTC and ETH drop, nobody is talking about. DXY, the dollar index, has been gaining strength. Historically, when DXY rises, risk assets like crypto fall. The dollar has been gaining strength. I think the DXY went over 101. It was in the 90s like a couple weeks ago. So when you start going up, the DXY, that means the dollar is gaining strength. Well, you don't want to own risk-on assets at that point. So that's what happened. You transfer it somewhere else. Okay. Ignore the BTC is dead crowd. They are just farming engagement. There's a lot of people who are saying BTC and ETH are dead. I've seen it every single cycle. I was buying BTC when it was $20, guys. When after FTX, after USDC depegged and BUSD had a Wells notice. I was in hell. I'm sitting here and I had a lot of cash going, what the hell is going on? And I started buying BTC and nobody else was really buying it. And I started buying it in the $20,000 range. And if you went on to Twitter, you wouldn't have touched any crypto because everybody was saying there's blood on the street. Bitcoin's going to 5,000. ETH is going to 1,000. I was buying ETH. I was buying Bitcoin, mainly Bitcoin. And then I started buying ETH afterwards. So it's the same thing. I've seen this play out over and over again. You need to not panic and think, okay, what is really going on and look at the data. Fed is still draining liquidity. This is the most important part, mainly through the TGA rebuild and slow RRP drawdown. That's the reverse repo. The reverse repo I've researched doesn't have as big of an impact, but the TGA is the general accounts for the Fed, and that's over $1 trillion now. Okay, so the Fed is collecting all this money mainly because the government shut down and doesn't have anywhere to spend it. So when they're not spending it, it means they're kind of taking it out of the economy rather than putting it into the economy. So you see the problem, right? Less money going into the economy. Crypto is like way down the list. It basically is the one that's most impacted by liquidity. So this is what's going on. Government shutdown temporarily boosts the TGA, tightening liquidity short term, but long term, it pressures the Fed to cut rates faster once spending starts. Now, this is important. Fed is lowering spending. Lowering spending, is lowering interest rates. Lower interest rates with another factor, which is M2 money supply, is when you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the alts take off. The alts are the most sensitive. The alts need the lower rates and the M2 money supply. Now, ICP might not need it because ICP has a real business, but the other alts that don't have a real business, which thrive on speculation, gonna need it. Like, Cardano is gonna need it. XRP is going to benefit from it. AVAX is going to benefit from it. They have a business, but it's maybe not as strong as ICP. So the real business models like ICP will explode first, and they will get even more benefit of these things. And then lower rates are inevitable. When they hit, risk assets will melt up in 2026. M2 money supply worldwide is getting bigger, and it's worldwide, meaning China, Africa, Europe, Asia. Everyone is coming in because everyone is printing. China is printing like crazy right now. This cycle everything is a mixed bag. It'll be choppy, but it will eventually run up like we've never seen, likely in mid to late 2026. Hopefully, I explained that to you. All right. What else is going on? I staked 8 years. Everything 40,000 ICP. Were you in the first round? That's a crazy number. I assume you were in like the VC 3-cent round because a lot of those guys did stake. Why wouldn't you stake? You have 40,000 ICP. This guy is making so much money. Like he's making 6,000 ICP a year. So he's making $40,000 a year anyways. Yeah. If I had 40,000 ICP, probably stake it too. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. What do you think about Convo, another stealth project worked by Definity? Also, Utopia is in pilot. Bro, this will challenge the top 5. I don't even know what Convo is, so you're gonna have to give me some information. Utopia doesn't really, from what I understand, bring a lot of utility to ICP, so it might be kind of not a bust. 234 people watching. Oh, it's a crazy number. I'm not going to call it a bust, but I'm going to call it like maybe it doesn't make the biggest difference, It might just bring more eyeballs towards ICP, Let's see. I owned Ethereum at 70 cents, sold it at $100. I regretted it. Wasn't that long ago. No, it wasn't. I see this as my second chance to not sell, lock, never sell, maybe interest later, but for now, yeah, I like the way you're thinking. I like the way you're thinking. I don't know how you bought prior to Mt. Gox. I was actually, wouldn't believe this. I was about to send Mt. Gox. I remember sitting actually very table I'm sitting in, had $25,000 in my bank account that I transferred over that I was going to send Mt. Gox. And I had all the information written out. And I was going to send it to them. And literally 3 weeks later, they got robbed of all, like majority of their Bitcoin. And that's when I was like, oh, I got to find another way to buy Bitcoin. It was hard back then to buy Bitcoin, especially before Mt. Gox. It was even harder. Like a lot of people don't understand. It was not easy to buy Bitcoin. I actually tried. I couldn't figure it out. I actually gave up, you know? So, let's see. What about to be peeing gold? Well, we're about to be peeing gold. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's looking really good. I think this is. I keep in mind, I'm one of the guys that was actually a little bit bearish on ICP. I was, when it was like at $5, I'm like, it's gonna go lower, guys. I'm getting so excited about, because I could kind of tell what was going on. But then I got into the tech. I was like, okay, this is the real deal now. I can say from someone who went from being bullish to bearish back to bullish, this is the real deal this time. Utopia doesn't burn ICP, but they are essentially private subnets for institutions. And it does burn. Utopia does burn ICP. Dom said codename Convo in stealth. I have no idea. But if you're telling me that Utopia burns ICP and it's a private subnet for institutions, it could be something. The problem with institutional adoption with all of this stuff, I'll tell you the problem. I'm not huge on it, is because a lot of institutions are going to go to Microsoft. They're going to go to Oracle. The big institutions, they don't go to Definities of the world. They don't go to the ICPs of the world. They go to the other places. And that's kind of the problem. ICP isn't competing against ETH. It's not competing against all these other tokens like AVAX. ICP is competing. The problem is against Amazon, Microsoft, Google. That's what it's competing against. So it's a lot harder, because if they were just competing against ETH, I'd say they have a chance. If they were competing against Cardano or XRP or something else, they'd have a chance. But what we're competing against is some big trillion-dollar companies. We're competing against Microsoft, Google, Amazon. It's tough. It's tough. That's my only thing. Do I think he's going to get some clients? I think with Caffeine AI, there's a big possibility now. So I think that maybe has changed the conversation. I think he might be onto something. He's going to have to do some pilots, but once he does some pilots, it has potential. But I'm not looking at it as a revenue. I'm looking at it more as the revenue source is going to come from Caffeine AI. Caffeine AI is a proven model. Rubbable and Replit have done it. That's simple. I'm keeping it simple. Now, if this starts becoming big business, then yes, it changes the conversation. This could take it to from $100, $150 ICP token to $500-$600 if everyone starts using it and needs ICP for canisters. This is a different conversation we can have at that point. Yes, ICP rallying while the rest of the market tank was a big signal that smart money was rotating in. Smart money realized what Caffeine AI was, and the narrative flipped, like literally flipped, like you saw from my tweet within 3 days and my video. Within 3 days of my tweet and my video, everything like flipped. It was insane. And that's how fast crypto works sometimes. That's just what it is. All right. I don't know what the article is, but you can post it if there's a place to post it, I guess. All right, guys, let's go back to Caffeine Doctor. You guys aren't buying Caffeine Doctor. Very disappointed. We got over 200 people watching this. People, we need to make bonding. We're at 85%. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Link it to me on X. Link it, or actually you can DM me. You can DM me. All right. Caffeine Doctor is at 85%. We have 254 people. Do you understand? We just need like 20 people to buy. 10%, folks. 10%. I'm already positioned in your coin. Well, it's not really my coin. It's going to be all of our coins. It's more of a community thing. I also shout out to the clown community. I use their marketing app. It was actually really cool. It actually broadcasts. So this is also built on ICP. So there's a lot of great tech on ICP that's being built, and it helps like retweet projects or anything you have. So shout out to them because it actually did work. It got more people, got more of an audience going. All right, guys. Is there any other questions out there? Let's see. Any other things we want to talk about? I mean, you guys have to start buying Caffeine Doctor, guys. I'm sorry. I'll put the link back up. We got to get this through bonding. It's really hard to bond without faking it. Like this is like real bonding, like no one else has done. Like here, this is the link. And I'll link it to the video in the comments too for people who see this video later. This bonding is actually so hard. And the reason it's hard and the reason you see a lot of tokens get through bonding on Pump Fund and all these other ones, it's just fugazi. It's fake. It's just fake. So the reason you're seeing a chart like this, which is amazing, is because this is real and no one's selling because everyone in ICP at this point, we're all diamond hands. And this gives me a lot of hope for the price of ICP. Look at the diamond hands we have. Usually on Pump Fund, if something's not made bonding in like, 20, 30 minutes, it's it. But here it doesn't matter because it's a diamond hand community. It's totally different. All right, what's going on? Go over this article in the chat. All right, let me take a look. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got, buddy. Let's see. Let's bring up this article. Just waiting for it to come up. Yeah, we got a few minutes, but let's see. How much ICP is enough? I actually started asking myself that question a long time ago. Depends how much money you want. If you're looking at a $40 to $50 target price, I say you need at least 5,000, man. I know a lot of people might buy like 1,000 XRP and they say, oh, it's going to go to $10,000 a token, which it will never get to those prices because I see those people talking about it. But if you're being realistic, if you want to make some real money and you can stake it and make revenues even from it, and you just have more options, I think you need at least 5,000. 5,000 is what, $25,000 investment? It's not too bad. Realistically, I think you need 10,000. If you're really trying to make Malibu dream house money, you need 10,000. You need 10,000 plus. So that's going to cost about $50,000, $60,000 now versus $30,000 a week ago. It's not a terrible investment. It's not a terribly huge investment. For the, I would say for the upside, it's not a terribly huge investment. Did you DM me or did you linked it somewhere? Trying to find your shared a post. Okay, hold on. Did you DM it to me? Oh, okay. I think I found it. Okay. Let's bring this up. All right. Let's see what this says. I'll share this with you guys right now so you guys can see what's going on. I've seen this, but I didn't read it. All right. So do I share the wrong one? Hold on. Sorry. Let's share it again. All right. There we go. Okay, so this is from Dom. Self-right. So he's going to Internet Computer 2.0 and Definity 2.0. Numerous developments and plans of importance to Internet Computer ecosystem are foundation. Oh, look at this. They're collecting email addresses. That's pretty cool. Okay, so he's giving you the history, foundation model versus a company model. Impact for profit. Okay. All right. Ethereum ecosystem. Okay. Is there something in here you want me to go to? What's Malibu Dream House money? Well, I don't know what country you live in, but Malibu Dream House money. Malibu is an expensive part of Los Angeles, and it's part of Barbie lives there with Ken. They live in their Malibu Dream House, and you probably 2 million plus. No, that's not Malibu Dream House money. That's like down payment money in Malibu. So, yeah, no, that's not. I mean, you could buy in Malibu, but not by the ocean. Maybe like further into the hills. There's some areas you could buy into the hills. Yeah. Yeah. 2 million. 2 million is good. Yeah. 2 million plus. Yeah. 2 million is like the low end of Malibu. Okay. We can go through some listings after this. That's like the low end of Malibu. But yeah, I mean, you're probably looking 10 million to get like a real house. And if you really, really, really want real Malibu dream house money, like Ken and Barbie, you're probably looking at 20 million plus, So, and then you can get your own Barbie because, that's going to cost money if you get a girl as hot as Barbie. Whoa, 10K ICP is Malibu. Well, the low end of Malibu. It's gonna be the low end of Malibu Dream House, not the high end of Malibu Dream House. So if you want like real high end, you want the real, yeah, you're gonna have to put some real money. All right, there's a lot in there. If you get a chance to actually go over it and combine it with your thesis, okay, I will. This is a lot in there. I did look at it. I didn't really go into it, but I just briefly looked at it. And guys, who dumped? Insanity, people, insanity. So we're doing a live stream to help Caffeine Doctor. Okay, now we're at 73%. Okay, all right. After I said we're all diamond hands, we're not diamond hands anymore. Okay. Then you can, okay, fair enough. All right, guys. So if there's not any other questions, any other questions, and we'll wrap this up. We're almost at an hour. I'll take a look at that document. I'll see what it is, but I think things are looking really good for ICP. I think things are looking so bullish for us. I will not be surprised. In the next week or two, we go over $10 and then we continue. None of this will surprise me. This is still the beginnings of all of this, guys. I just want you guys to understand. Most people have never heard of ICP. Most people in crypto have never heard of ICP. Most people have never heard of Caffeine AI. Please keep these things in mind. What's going to happen over the next few months, over the next few weeks, is people learn about this. They're going to go like myself and like Rand from Crypto Banner was like, I can't believe how great this is. That's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. And for a lot of people, when they discover ICP, they're going to go to themselves, holy cow. Where has this been? What can I do with it? What can I build on Caffeine AI? I need a membership. I need a subscription. So you're going to start to see that, guys. Anyway, guys, let's see what happens. We're early. This trading is fantastic. It's going to be volatile. Don't get upset if it goes to like $6, $7 and comes back down. It's just what it is. If you're going to buy it, buy the dips. When you see it come back to like $5.25, $5.30, $5.50, $5, that's where you want to buy. You don't want to buy it when it's like surging ahead. You want to time yourself, unless you just don't have any. So if you don't have any, I usually go just buy it and just try to average in slowly, DCA in, dollar cost average in slowly. That's kind of my advice to people when they're getting into something. If you don't have any exposure, and for example, if you want to own 1,000 ICP, I tell you to buy your first 100 at any price. And then your second 100, you can buy it when it dips a little bit. Your third 100, and as you get deeper and deeper, by the time you're buying your like last 200-300, well, you can wait for those dips. You just wait, just calm down. Tokens don't just go straight up. Well, sometimes they do, but mostly they don't. So you'll get your moments to get in and out. And I still think it's a few weeks away before we really rip. So please keep that in mind. But right now, everything is looking good. I'm really excited about this. And let's go from there. Anyway, guys, if there's no more questions, we're going to wrap it up. And we're going to try to do this. If you guys want, we can do like a question session like once or twice a week. You guys tell me, put your comments down here or put it over here in the chat if you want to do like a back and forth so you can kind of understand. A lot of people panic during these moments. I don't really panic because I've been through them. So it kind of helps people like myself who's been around. I didn't really panic when BTC and ETH went down. You saw what I did. I actually wrote on X exactly what was going on. And a lot of people thanked me for that, actually, even in my DMs, because they were panicking and they're like, yeah, this is very thoughtful. There's always something behind the scenes that's happening that you have to understand. A lot of people just panic. Don't panic. There's no reason to panic. Okay. ETH and BTC are not going to go to the prices you see some of these influencers talk about. It's just not going to go. So there's a lot of farming and engagement. X is not the real world. It is a very small microcosm of reality. So just step away sometimes. It actually helps. Anyway, guys, best of luck to everyone, and we'll do this soon. Take care. Bye-bye.